What up? This is your boy Ant.
And this is Shira.
And this is another episode of Pillow Talk dealing with the Love and Marriage
Huntsville.
number 5. Episode number 5. Hey, yo, thank you so much for tuning in, watching this video, subscribing to our channel, sharing the video with your friends and with your family, commenting below, because there's a lot to talk about. I'm trying to tell you, because this episode started out kind of...
So let's get right on into it. And with you being a man, I want to ask you just straight up, what you think about Mel going over to the boys, going over to Marcel and confronting him like that at his place of business? Seemed like it was kind of dark outside at night. But what do you think about women going to
No.
What do you think about that?
No. I think everybody should stay in their place. You know, I'm not saying that you know, because she's a woman that she should not be able to have a conversation or a business conversation with a man. But she went there ready to snap and fight. And yes, she's supposed to have been defending her mama and all that old kind of stuff. But I think because she already know that Martel and Marcel are going at it, she should have let them two handle it. She should have sent Martel over there to defend her mother, not her.
It just wasn't a good look.
No.
It wasn't a good look at all. And not only that, but if it's circulating on who was the brother who brought this up, who's the brother who leaked the tape, who's the brother that's all talking about it, then if she was going to confront the guy, why she didn't confront him? Why she confronted Marcel?
Right. Yep. It's a dangerous thing too, mommy, because listen, ladies, you can't just be... I mean, I'd have an issue if you going up to a guy. I mean, he ain't some weak... But that's a grown man. Marcel's a grown man. And
because Martel and Marcel know each other, it really was a place for the husband.
Exactly.
It wasn't really her place, whether it was him or the brother. It really wasn't her place to do it. And I think sometimes, even though we're women and we're like, hey, we can do whatever, it's not a good look. It just wasn't a good look.
I agree.
Seeing that and just the argue and everything. I mean, I don't know. Like, he was kind of laughing. Did you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man, because he's looking at her. I'm not saying this is right, but he was still looking at her like, who this woman? You know, who this woman coming at me like that? Why your man not here? And she jumping at him hard. And again, we know she trying to defend her mama, but her mama grown, like she said. If I did have a tape out there, remember, I'm grown, okay? And her mother and Marcel worked together. Apparently, they done business together. It just wasn't the time. It just wasn't right. It
was so messy, and it was just so, like, catty and combative. And all I heard was, yeah.
And you know what? Yeah. And that's all he heard. Because that's it, man. When hey, I'm trying to tell you, man, when women be snapping and stuff like that, man, we just go to tuning it out. I can't. Yeah, my bad. But now, listen.
You tune me out, baby?
No, I be hearing everything you say, baby.
And I don't be coming at you snapping either.
No. Actually, no, baby. You know, you actually a very good wife. You know, you very respectful. Of course, you know, we have our disagreements and everything like that. But no, I always say, you know, something got to be seriously wrong when your first reaction is always an overreaction. And I'm not saying that men don't want to go and defend their wives when another woman does something to her. You know, you've been in situations like that where I wanted to snap off on some chick because she done messed you up like that. But I mean, hey, that wasn't my place.
When you say mess me up, like people are like, what?
Well, I don't mean mess you up.
What chick done messed me up?
Well, you know, I don't mean messed you up. I mean,
that's what you said. Because I don't know no chick that done messed me up.
Let me
Last time somebody tried, I was a senior in high school. So
I don't mean from a fight.
All she did was try.
I don't mean from a fight. I'm talking about like in business or, you know, a hairstylist you may have had in the past. You know what I'm saying? And you to pay her and she ain't do the job right.
The immediate pass.
And I mean... And you upset and I'm upset, you know, and I want to go and check this chick, but that ain't my role. What I look like as a 6'1", 240-pound man stepping to some chick talking about, why you do that to my woman hair? What I look like?
I'll be so embarrassed.
You know what I mean? That ain't my role. So
embarrassed. But you know what's interesting that you said that is that it seems like both Martell and Mel be stepping in on the other sex.
They do.
You know, because Martell, he didn't lit Tisha up, you know, whether it's in her face behind her back, he done gone in on her. So
it's a lot of they got too much drama, man. Too much mess going on.
It's so messy. Speaking of messy, how you like Miss Wanda? Oh my God! Now I'm jumping a little bit, but what I love about Miss Wanda is that, you know, she feel like she can say whatever she want to say, but my girl Kimmy got something for Miss Wanda.
Reel that back.
Kimmy ain't going for that. Kimmy's like, you know, you going to try to plan this mess, and she ain't having it.
Yeah.
And I think that she might be the only person on that show that can put Miss Wanda in her place.
Well, that's because her and Miss Wanda the same age. They went to school together. I'm speculating. I'm just tripping.
You wrong.
I know Miss Wanda is older than her, but I'm just saying Kimmy is the closest to her age. So she over there like, look, I can check this old lady.
Kimmy can check her because Kimmy is not docile. She's not weak.
No, she's not.
She's not scared of her. She's not. She knows she doesn't really have the same ties. You know, Marcel is like, okay, like I really want to check her, but I'm a man. She's my mother-in-law. You know, whatever.
Right.
You know, Tisha just, I mean, has no voice. But Kimmy?
Nah, Kimmy cracks me up,
wait a
though.
minute, you know, you're not about to come at me talking about I'm choosing sides. And that's the thing, you know, when Kimmy and Mel had that conversation and they sitting there and Mel just kind of like, I understand that, you know, you're supposed to be my friend, but, you know, you her friend and her family and all of that. And I really think that Kimmy was telling the truth. She's not trying to be the peacemaker anymore.
No.
She don't want anything to do with it. Like, when we grown, why can't I be your friend and be her friend and her family, and we just leave it at that?
Yeah, because I don't think Melody had a legitimate reason to try to be mad at Kimmy because she left the event with Tisha. You know, she was already at the event. She had already spent time there. She had already saw her, you know, talk about her product and all that kind of stuff. So when you threw the chick out, I mean, they are sisters because they both married two brothers.
All three of them. Well, they're Tisha and Kimmy are sister-in-laws.
Yeah.
But Mel and Tisha are sisters too.
Huh? Oh.
Melody
sorority?
and Tisha are sorority sisters.
Oh, really?
Yep.
So who trumps then? I mean, you know, you're in the sorority. Who trumps?
What do you mean who trumps? Family trumps.
But they not biological family. They married two brothers.
Family trumps. Once you know your brother don't call me sister-in-law. He just say sis.
True.
You know, it's not family trumps. And I'm sorry, my sorors, for my sorors that's out there. Family trumps.
But my brother's wife don't call you sis. So that's what I'm saying. So is they in-laws?
Your brother got a wife?
You're so silly. Yes, he does. Okay. I mean, she might not come out the room, but yes, she does. I'm just saying. So they married into the family. So they're still not necessarily
family trumps. Because this is the thing. And there was, you know, I think they were talking about this in one of the groups. This is the thing when it comes with sorority sisters. You know, within a sorority, especially if you all are in the same chapter, you want everybody to get along. But actually, I think one actually went in undergrad, one went in grad. And if they're not active or if they're not in the same chapters, the reality is that everybody who throw up a certain sign is not necessarily, you know, just automatically getting along.
Feel you.
So, you know, but they are sisters. Whether you like each other or not, you're sorority sisters. Yeah. And then they sister-in-law. So there you go.
Now, I'll tell you what has really been popping off that is like blatantly evident. Something is going on with the Holtz and they living arrangement. Because one minute they up in this big old house in this large kitchen that's, you know, beautiful brown, you know, cabinetry and all that kind of stuff. And then the next minute they up in some other house and there's a white kitchen. And I'm trying to figure out, are they together? Do they, where they live at? I mean, did she move? What everybody talking about, you know, that she didn't move down to Atlanta Is she back with Martell?
So this is what I was thinking at first, because you notice that I don't know if Corona got them on this episode, but all of a sudden that quality of that camera changed, and,
Right.
and when they was doing their confessionals, all of a sudden it just looked different. It was like, oh, okay, y'all look like, oh.
Right.
Like, y'all look like y'all don't have y'all Hollywood camera anymore. So,
That's true.
And then they didn't have, like, normally it's a green screen and then they put the color behind it.
Yes.
And we can actually see inside their house.
Yes.
It's a new coronavirus type filming that we're seeing all over the place.
Right.
And I'm like, oh, that's interesting. So when the kitchen changed and the house changed during that, I was like, oh, it's a different time period. But then when that house all of a sudden ended up in the episode, and then all of a sudden her hair changed, it was like, okay, ponytail, and then it was like blonde. It was like the blonde short swoop bob, and then it went back to the ponytail.
Yes,
I was like, okay, they just shooting all over the place.
But even in the confessional, she had she was brunette or whatever.
Yep. But even the brunette and the blonde short wig with the swoop, that was in one house, and then the ponytail was in the other house. But somehow all of that got mixed in this episode. And I got confused.
I was confused. I don't know where they living in. I don't know if they back together, because they are drawn to each other. If there's any couple in that dang on relationship, that's on this show, they got a soul tie that is it's a dangerous soul tie.
Well, it's a lot of souls tied up in that.
Well, yeah, I guess you're right.
Because, anytime, and this is interesting too, like, people talking about, well, people can get past infidelity. People can get past infidelity. She ain't nothing but a side chick. Martell's other woman, she a side chick, she a peasant, she this and she that. But somebody said something on our channel, and I'm like, in the comments, and I'm like, man, that's so true. Is she really a side chick when she been there for years?
Exactly.
For years?
No, that's his other wife.
He keep going back to the same person. This is the same person.
Yes.
Over and over.
Yes.
And over and over and over.
See.
Is it really a side chick?
No, that's his up. That's like saying in the Bible, what Solomon had, 300 wives and 800 concubines. The concubines was his side chick. But he had 300 wives.
So she wanted 100 wives?
Yes.
And not the concubine?
Absolutely. She started out as a concubine, perhaps. But she worked her way up into the house. She worked her way into the house. You cannot be in having relations with anyone for that long and not develop some type of feelings. You know what I mean? You can't even if there are guys that's out there that's having with girls that they don't even like, she not the most attractive, he using her for purposes. He using her for his own entertainment. Keep having sex with her. Keep showing up and climbing up in her bed every night or every other night, going over there texting, calling, going out to eat and all that kind of stuff. That's a relationship. It started out as a call, but it ended up as a relationship.
And no matter how much you're drawn to somebody, when somebody who you want to be in a monogamous relationship with someone and you marry them and they're refusing to do so, then you just have a problem. Speaking of relationships, Martell and his father, God, he needs his dad.
Yes.
I want that relationship to just nurture and grow because he needs his dad.
Yeah, he does.
Oh my God. So what did you think about that?
I really think is very, very important for every male child, for every child, period, male or female, to have a healthy relationship with their father. In particular, their biological father. Because it appears, I don't even think he had a stepfather. You see, I grew up with a stepfather. My mom and stepfather are still married 40 plus years. But I never had a true relationship with my biological father. So I don't know what it's like to not have a dad, but I do know what it's like to not have him as my father. And so because of that, even to this day, sometimes that can still bother me. So it's really important for biological fathers and sons, even if you're a son out there and you got a problem with your dad, You need to go make amends. All of that grudges and crazy stuff, man, that ain't healthy for nobody. It ain't healthy for the father. It ain't healthy for Martell. But now I'm with Martell too. Don't keep on, showing up and then running away and then keep coming back telling me I'm going to be here, man. Either make up your mind and, man up and be there. Be there for them grandkids. Just raggedy butt.
Well, the thing is that at least there's been some effort. We saw him in season 1. We've seen him in season 2. I'm still waiting on Mel's dad.
Oh, right.
Yeah, so.
He's supposed to be in construction or real estate, and he's supposed to be some kind of really successful.
I don't really care about that. I'm just waiting for him to show up and be a dad.
That's exactly right. Which is what I'm just saying. But that's why Martell said that he would love to have him around.
Should have him around because he her dad, not because he got money.
Well,
or successful. So just because he her dad, that's why he need to be around.
He does. And if he come around, but he can still be a good role model. Bottom line is everybody needs their father and everybody needs a good mother. Just show up and be there. For real. Call, text, something. What's your feelings about the whole thing with the birthday party? And the kids, and Macy and whoever these little kids that's supposed to be having this party, 3 and 8 years old, and should they get together, whatever.
It's so weird because what the parents have going on doesn't have anything to do with the kids. And if they've been playing together and they know these kids because they was once close, you shouldn't make the kids suffer and not let them go to the party just because.
Yeah, but they 3 and 8 years old. Kids, they make friends all over the dang old place, man. And forget about the old kids.
That's true.
Old friends and stuff.
That's true, and that's what, Miss Wanda was saying. Forget that and all that type of stuff. But I don't know. I just feel like that adults should be able to be civil. If y'all are able to still be on the same television show together, then why can't the kids still, go to the birthday party?
Well, because they gotta be there.
You still on a TV show with each other. You don't think they're not gonna have to meet up at all? You don't think they're gonna have to meet up at the reunion show?
True.
So you are still in some type of relationship with the Scotts. The Holts and the Scotts still have a relationship together. So I don't think that the kids should have to suffer. It's almost like a divorce. Your friendship has ended. You all are ex-friends. You are divorced. But you shouldn't keep the kid from seeing the parent. So
but people divorce, then they can't do your friends go with their friends and blah, blah, blah?
What are you talking about?
You know how when people when they get divorced and then they have friends while they were married, and then they... You talking about on the kid level? I'm talking about on the adult level. So it'd be the same thing. We talking about kids. But the kids, I guess you're right. You're right. You're making a lot of sense. What I would say is that with my divorce, at the end of the day, we had a lot of mutual friends and everything, and I didn't necessarily lose my friends just because I lost because the marriage ended. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I didn't. I can't say that I did. Of course, it's different and the dynamics change, but to say that, we no longer are going to be friends with you because the marriage is over, or friends with him because the marriage is over, that's dumb. That's ridiculous. Well, I ain't seen none of them friends that y'all had, and I don't want to see none of them. I'm just saying, I don't know too many. I can't remember how they being friends with some of my ex's friends anymore. You friends with your exes? What are you talking about? Not with my ex's wife. Okay. What are you talking about? So all the I ain't gonna say their names, but that church y'all went to, and all those and all those people at the church, are you still talking to them? You still friends? They were my friends first. And so you think that if they ever come across her on social media, they ain't gonna never say hi or speak to her? Oh, probably. Then that's what I'm talking about then. Gee. But we're talking about the kids. Okay. We're talking about the kids. I just feel like if you all are on the show together, and if the kids want to go to the party, just be grown and let the kids go to the party. That don't mean that y'all have to go and hang out with each other and be friends and talk. But you can let the kids go to the party, or maybe they'll let you drop the kids off, or maybe you have your mom go and, maybe not your mom. maybe not your mom. Comment below, y'all. I want to know what everybody else's opinion. April. I know April. April is Tisha's new friend. She's a sorority sister. She's male sorority sister. She could take the kids to the party. Okay.
Problem solved.
That's probably so. Well, I agree with you there, and I just think like towards the end of the show and everything, where they was all sitting at Marsal's and them house, talking and everything. I think that Miss Wanda is doing everything she can to go in at Kimmy, and I don't know what her problem is with Kimmy, and I'm just wondering. I mean, going back to that subject, I mean, should she choose a side? Because that's what Miss Wanda keeps trying to get her to do. And it ended with all of that drama and foolishness, and she's sitting there mad and looking stupid.
No, it ended with, woo! Happy birthday!
But I'm just saying, she really wants her to just be like, no, we're going to be done with the hoax, period.
She just want to be messy. And I really think that she's not going to be coming for Kimmy too much anymore. Because Kimmy ain't having it. Like we said at the beginning, Kimmy ain't having it. I don't think it's going to be too much of that. But it was something that Miss Wanda said that made me think. And it was about when they were telling her how Melody showed up and kind of snapped off on Marcel, and they all laughing and retelling that story.
Right.
And Miss Wanda was like, you should have threw her out. You shouldn't even listen to her. You shouldn't even entertain her. You shouldn't even have an argument with her. You should have kicked her out just like she threw your wife out. Had her thrown out. What'd you think? That would have been funnier.
It would have been funny.
That would have been so funny. That would have been like,
but that ain't. But it would be BA, like they were saying, for a man, for him to retaliate in the same way that Melody did his wife. Let me call security and have you escorted out of here. That's almost, guys. We just gonna do that.
So instead, he let Melody snap off on him more than he allowed Tisha to.
True.
Which is now, as a woman, I really have a problem. You're not going to just, tell me about myself all the time, but then let my arch enemy just go and tell you off. Well, and you sit there with a smile on your face.
Well, I mean, it's
entertain her. You entertain my arch enemy, but you don't entertain me.
He does. It's always like that. Stuff that we put up with other people versus what we put up from our family. You work with students, and there's certain you're not gonna accept the disrespect from a student, but you show as heck ain't gonna take it from.
Now listen to this. Don't say my son's name. Okay.
Okay.
Monster. Monster the second.
Okay.
Don't
Monster
say
the
his
second.
name. This is the thing. She came to a work site after hours in heels, okay, and on a dress. If she would have failed, she could have sued. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she didn't have on no hard hat. No.
Yeah. She was not dressed for that particular site, that environment. I think he said something like that as she left out. He had every right to just be like, you need to leave.
He did.
And if you don't leave, you need to leave. If you want to schedule a conversation and I will bring my wife and you want to have this conversation, then we can. But this is not the time nor place. And he should have dismissed that whole scene.
I would agree with that. He should have, having her escorted is one thing, but he definitely should have been like, you need to bounce. Mm-hmm. Now that I do agree. So I kind of agree with Miss Wanda at the same time. But I mean, that's Marcel. He gonna go and snap off on Tisha all the time and treat her like she one of the kids, like he her daddy. And he does not hardly ever defend her. They don't have that oneness. He just ain't one with her. It just don't seem like that, man. He always try to teach her a lesson.
So somebody was asking about his age because we keep hearing over and over again. Well, he probably treat her like a daddy because he's so much older than her. Yeah. He's so much older than her. I think even last season you was like, oh, him and Miss Wanda look like they more the same age.
They do.
Do you know that I Googled his age? You know what came up?
What?
Take a guess.
He got to be older than me. He got to be close to your brother age.
40.
He ain't no way in
It
the world.
came up that he's 40 and that Tisha is 38, and I knew Tisha was 38. It came up that he's 40. And also, I do remember from last season, if I'm not mistaken, that Maurice is older than Marsau. That I do remember. Maurice is older than Marsau, but Maurice is younger than Kimmy.
Right, so I remember that.
So I don't think Marsau is your age. I think he is younger than you, just based on math. And so if he's only 2 years older than Tisha, then he ain't I don't consider that way.
No, he ain't. But his demeanor, I mean, his style, his energy, everything about that dude is like he was born in 1960. Okay. All right, I give him 1965 at least. Okay. He looked like, the whole old-fashioned personality. And his old-fashioned ways and how he want her to be an at-home mom and just keep her basically barefoot and pregnant. I don't know what that man want, man. This is a hard speculation. Cause at one minute I think he want her to be independent and strong and maybe have a personality and a hustle and drive like Melody. And then on the other hand, it's like, no, I don't want her to have that. I want her to be docile and be like a child, and I can still have control over her.
She needs like a getaway by herself and spend some time with Tisha and spend some time trying to figure out who she is without Marsau in her head, without Miss Wanda in her head, without having to manage the kids. She needs to get away some time by herself.
And while she's by herself, she should be listening to your self-love podcast. That's real talk, man. That's real talk. I mean, the podcast and even some of the videos that you post, the self-love experience, I'm telling you, you give some phenomenal advice and tips. And I really do think that she could significantly benefit from it.
Well, I appreciate that because I did it for women who are, empowered, who are ambitious, who are business women or go-getters, or the ones who want to be and just don't know how.
Yeah.
Everybody may not be that ambitious person, but if you want to be that ambitious person, if you're, you have an aspiration to be that person, but you need to develop yourself, then that's what the self-love experience is all about.
Yes. She needs somebody to help her develop. Because I think she wants it and she sees you. You can't be around somebody like Melody and Kimmy and other successful women and not want that too.
Yes. But speaking of Melody and her success, they were talking about the whole thing with the taxes and you leaked our taxes and that's messing up our brand. So is that what's messing up their brand? Is the fact that, that the taxes was leaked?
Okay.
So baby, what do you think is going to happen next week?
I don't know, baby. A darn birthday party? That's all we got to look forward to, I guess. I don't know, man.
Well, I doubt that they focus on the kids. I'm wondering if sometime during this season, if Melody and Tisha can be able to reconcile their differences and at least become cordial again. So what do you all think? Put in the comments below. Do you think that they're going to end up patching things up or at least being cordial? Or do you think they're going to remain at odds throughout the season? Let us know what you think in the comments below.
And listen, as always, we appreciate you all tuning in, watching the videos, sharing the videos with your friends and your family. We thank you for subscribing to this channel and hitting the notification bell. Definitely go check out some of those podcasts that Shira has. It's the Self-Love Experience. Phenomenal information. Share them with your friends and your family as well. And thank you for commenting below. Answer the question.
And if you like this video, then give it a like.
Thank you so much. Hey, we love you. Peace.
Bye.
I love you, baby.
I love you, baby.
I want to kiss you. I want to kiss you. You're so sweet. You're going to put lipstick on me.
You put it on yourself.
Mwah.